I'm not here to frighten you. I'm here to warn you so that you can take precaution. Okay? So now let's look at, because they use the word excessive intake. So what is excessive? Historical intake patterns. Prior to the 20th century, the average intake of LA was under 2% of the total caloric intake. Guys, it was under 2%. In fact, biological optimal range is approximately 1 to 2%. Healthy range is supposed to be 1 to 2%. But current LA consumption is over 25% of the total calorie intake for the average person. Wow, do the maths, guys. Let's say if it is 1% healthy level and now it's 25%, how many times, how many folds more is the increment? 25 times more. This is poisoning, okay? This is poisoning. Let's move on. It gets more interesting. Now, look at the history. LA consumption of seed oils. Haha. So now for the first time, you see these seed oils. Before 1866, the Western diet consisted mainly of animal fats. Moving on. The Eastern diet, right, Eastern societies, they use cold-pressed fats such as coconut and palm oil. Vegetable and seed oils are regularly consumed today did not exist prior to the late 1800s. So what is late 1800s? Up to 1899, right? Okay. Prior to the 1900s, let's put it this way, prior to 1900s and 1901 and beyond, they did not exist. Okay, they did not exist. So it increased by more than 25 folds, right? This linoleic acid. Now, this is the chart that I cut and pasted here. Okay, if you look at some of this sample, like sunflower oil is pretty common, right? It contains 68% of LA, linoleic acid. Corn oil, my goodness, 54%. Wow. And if you go further down, soybean oil is 51%. And another common one, well, I know peanut oil is pretty common as well. That's 32%. Canola oil, guys, canola oil, 19%. Canola oil. Most of the restaurants, I can bet you, they are probably using canola oil. And that's 19%. Now, olive oil, avocado oil, right? And it's about 10%. 10%. Olive oil, avocado. And if you go further down, right, you'll find that the healthiest, well, amongst the bad, the healthiest is coconut oil, 2%, and butter, 2%. In conclusion, what this journal has to say is oxidative stress, tissue damage, and mitochondrial dysfunction from excess LA. Do we agree that we have been consuming excessive LA? Right, we have, right? Because it's 25% or more, isn't it? In the past, it's only, what, 1 to 2%. So this excessive LA has caused what? Oxidative stress, tissue damage, and mitochondrial dysfunction. And not only that, it's not only responsible for all these three things, but it is also responsible for cardiovascular disease and Alzheimer's onset, but also additional chronic diseases, including cancer, dementia, obesity, and diabetes. The 2023 published at where? the National Institutes of Health, PubMed.